Hey y'all, welcome back to Long Farms. Today I'm just out here just kind of scouting some hay fields. This is actually across the road at some property that isn't connected to the farm, but I got the old Honda put together that I'd mentioned a couple videos ago. Put a new redone the rear diff, put new wheel bearings, A-arm bushings, and all that good stuff in it. So now it's good to go. But this field, it's been sprayed with the Duracor, and it's been fertilized. So you can tell it's really starting to grow and looking good. I think last year on this field we was averaging about, I think 8 to 9 rolls. I think closer to 9 rolls to the acre, which our baler, we bale a 4x5 roll, which means the bale is 4 feet wide by 5 foot tall. So then of course you can get different size balers, and but what we've always baled is a 4x5, which is I guess kind of a general size, because it's put 2 of those and it's wide enough to fit on like a gooseneck trailer, not stick out too wide to go down the road. So this field looks awfully pretty, so we're going to go on up over the hill that way and check out a couple more. So if y'all want to, let's go for a ride. Like I was saying earlier about grease fittings, that you don't want to over grease them. You got a grease fitting here on that wheel, and then a grease fitting over here on this wheel here. On those, since that's the rear end of the tractor, you just want to give it, of course it's got the hydraulic oil in there to keep everything oiled. But on those fittings, I believe you just want to give it 2, maybe 3 squirts of grease, because if you give it much more than that, you can push out the axle seal. And on this one here, it's starting to leak just a little bit, but not too much. For this tractor, it's a 2012 model. I think it just rolled over. I think it's 2,450 or so hours just the other day. So it's gonna, of course we keep it maintenance and don't let anything go as far as leaks or maintenance done. But any tractor, if it gets a little bit of hours on it, it's gonna leak a little bit of something. Once it gets some age and some hours. Of course, if it's a major leak, we would have it repaired. But for no more, that's just leaking just a very, very little bit. So the hydraulic fluid stays full. So we won't worry about that leak for right now. But thanks for tuning in today. I greatly appreciate it. I was gonna wear, I purchased Ivor's Farm t-shirt last week. If y'all are want to look for other farm channels to watch, I definitely check out Ivor's Farms. It's IVERS Farms. They're located up there, and they farm in Indiana and Illinois. Good family, good Christian family, and that'd be another good show to watch. That's one I definitely recommend. But thanks for tuning in today. Thanks for tagging along when we was scouting those hay fields, and also on this tractor while I finished greasing it for Granddad. So don't forget to like and subscribe the button. And some of these mama cows down here heard me talking, and I think they're letting me know they're wanting fed, so I ain't gonna do that real quick. But hopefully y'all have a good rest of your week. And we'll catch y'all on the next one. Alright, we're over here at the next field, and this field is another good looking field. It's also been sprayed and fertilized here recently, and so it seems to be shaping up pretty good. But this property here, we picked it up I guess about 5 or 6 years ago. Gentleman inherited it from his grandfather, and doesn't have a way to take care of the property, but he'd like a farmer to do it. He had another gentleman that's taking care of it, and I don't think he's quite satisfied with how he's keeping the land up, so he offered it to us. So it's luckily we don't have to pay rent on it. He tells us we just treat it as our own. Just seed it, fertilize it, spray it, whatever we want to do with it for hay, and whatever we don't cut for hay, he just asks we bush hog the rest. So thankfully it's worked out good for us, and we try our best to keep Mr. Birchfield happy. He's been good to us to let us farm this property, and we're trying our best to do good for him. So when we got it, the hay ground, it was decent, but it wasn't the best in the world. So it's taken us probably 3 or 4 years of just spraying, seeding, fertilizing, number of different things to get it to where it needs to be. It's slowly getting there, but it's awfully close. So we're thankful for that. And this little knob over here is just some part of the land that isn't able to be cut for hay, so it's just part of it that we bush hog. We normally bush hog it a couple times a year, so if that's what it takes to be able to farm some ground, then that's what we do. You gotta, especially if you're renting ground, or whether the landowner just lets you take care of it, you always want to treat it as you would your own property if you actually owned it, because with rented ground, you never know. You may farm it for 10-15 years, then the next year they may sell it or let somebody else do it. So all you can do is just treat the land, respect it, and treat it like you would your own property, and that way hopefully the landowner continues to let you use it and harvest whatever crop or whatever you may be doing with it. Well, I know it's hard to tell, but look at them prints there in the dirt. I'm not sure if we got some hogs. We did have some hogs give us some trouble a couple years back, but we got rid of them. Or it could be some deer. There's been a lot of deer roaming around here. As you may tell right through there's a little path through the woods. So as any of y'all know, deer, hogs, or any kind of wild animal like that can, if it goes undone, then they can really do some damage to a farmer's crops. So that's just part of farming, something you got to deal with. Those trees I better take care of before we get to cutting hay here in about a month and a half. There's another part down there that we just had to bush hog, but I believe on this farm here, between the 3 fields, I think there's roughly about 35 to 40 acres. So oh, before I forget, when Mr. Birchfield brought this opportunity to us, we'd had some ground that connected with ours through the woods. We used to pasture our cattle on during the summer and fall, but she's an older lady, and the family decided to move her back closer to Indianapolis, where they're all from. So they sold the house and sold the property with it. So we're actually having to pasture a couple of our hay fields that we had on, that we actually own, pasturing in, since we lost that pasture. And thankfully Mr. Birchfield brought this opportunity to us a couple years ago, so it worked out pretty well. So we're very thankful for that. Check out that view. We got a heck of a view from this field, that's for sure. That's the Chihuahua Mountains, part of the Great Smoky Mountains over there in the background. And this is the other field that's more or less across the road from the farm. This is a farm that we actually rent. We've rented this farm about as long as I can remember, and I'd say it's going on about 24, 25 years that I can remember coming over here and driving tractor and helping out and all that. So it may have been back before I could remember, but this is about a little, I think it's about a 10-11 acre field. Last year I think we averaged about 9 rolls to the acre. As y'all know, that row crop guys measure their ground in bushels per acre. And all the hay guys, if they do round rolls, they'll just do like rolls per acre, even square bales per acre. But this is one of our better fields. It's shaded most time in the evenings. As you can tell, sun coming in from the west towards the east this way. So this field, this edge down through here, and then this edge going along at that tree line, the edge of the field doesn't grow the best, just because it's shaded from the sun and the rain and all that. But out here in the middle and everywhere else, it does awfully well. So we'll probably be cutting this field probably around about a month and a half, maybe around Memorial Day, or around the 1st of June, just depending on the rain and if we get any drought. A lot of factors. It could be a month and a half till we start cutting hay, or it could be a month. It just depends on how fast it grows and the weather and everything else going on. I believe Granddad said we're going to be turning those cows out on pasture here in a couple of weeks, once we sell the fall calves. But before I can quit for the evening, I gotta grease the front end of this tractor here. on the pivot on this front axle. There's a grease fitting here, and then a grease fitting on the other side, which Granddad said he tried greasing the tractor today by himself, and he's 91 years old, so if he can't reach a grease fitting or two, I'll be more than happy to finish it up for him. But no, I'm not lazy. I don't. Some people say, well, John, just your dad and granddaddy do all the work around that farm. What do you do? And I'm like, well, I do a lot of work. It's just not shown, or I do it in the evenings when I'm not at work, my normal job, or on the weekends when I'm not working is when I'm able to help out the most. Granddad being his age, he if he wants to get out here and grease the tractor, that's fine. If he wants to drag the pasture field with the 5210 over there, that's fine too, because he's this is who the farm belongs to, and I think he's earned that right to do whatever he wants to do around here at his, especially his age. That grease fitting is it's kind of hard to tell, but it's back in there, so I'm gonna try and, Dad's not at home, so I'm gonna try and do this myself real quick. Now we got it locked on there. Hopefully put it on there. Put it in there till I heard a little bit of grease spitting out, because you don't want to, when you're greasing a tractor, you don't want to keep squirting the grease into it, because it could push the seals out, or could push everything out of the bearing. Just depends what you're trying to grease on the tractor. You want to grease it good, but you don't want to over grease it, because then over greasing could cause further issues down the road, which you really don't want, because these tractors, no matter what brand, what color, what horsepower, or how many tires, it's going to have its problems one day or another. There's that other grease fitting I was looking for. It's on the front of this pins. On this tractor, the axle articulates like this. It's got this big center pin right here, as most two-wheel drive tractors, depending on the brand, but they'll front axle tilt back and forth like this, so you'll have a grease fitting on the front, then also one on the rear. Alright, this one locked on there. Give it a couple of good squirts. Yeah, gosh. Leave that one's full, or the grease. The grease fitting may be clogged up, but here in the next couple days I'll be sure to check again, or we may have to take it out and change it, which ain't too big a deal. It's just I think a 7 or 8 millimeter little wrench, and take it out and put another one in.